It's hard to begin the healing process if you're worried about the basics. Nahale said. Some are hopping from hotel room, in some cases leading to a return of tourists who are vital to the local economy. Given Hawaii's humidity and the difficulty of shipping them from the U.S. mainland, it's not possible for officials to bring in mobile homes used to shelter people elsewhere after natural disasters. The government, through the Federal Emergency Management Agency, paid for Nahale and 8,000 other displaced residents to move into hotels, vacation homes and other short-term housing following the August 8 fire. More than 2 months later, there are still around 6,900 people in short-term accommodation. It's unusual for FEMA to house so many people in hotels, especially for months after a disaster. But Maui was left with a large number of empty hotel rooms after tourists left in the wake of the fire. In other states, people who cannot move into their homes after a disaster can move in with friends and family members who live a few hours away. That's even more difficult on Maui, an island of about 150,000 people. That's a 30-minute plane ride from Honolulu, the nearest major city. Bob Fenton, administrator for the FEMA region that includes Hawaii, is leading the government response. He said his agency has the authority to house people in hotels for 6 months. And in some cases that period can be extended. Still, Fenton said in an interview that he wants to see people get into stable housing, somewhere they can be for the next 2 Christmases. He said it is difficult to find a long-term rental home when thousands of people are looking for it. No one will be left without short-term housing without a long-term solution. Red Cross CEO Gail McGovern said at a press conference Wednesday. Josh Green urged anyone who feels they are being pushed out to talk to a Red Cross worker. Tiffany Teruya is among the lucky ones who found a 2-bedroom rental house where she can stay with her 13-year-old son. He signed a lease on Wednesday, paying the first month's rent and deposit using welfare money and $2,000 from his cousin. Catholic Charities plans to pay for the next 3 months. The cottage is owned by a member of his extended family. He said about 30 people had seen the house before him, including families of 3, 4 and even 6. These people are desperate too. You know what I mean? Said Teruya, who was a restaurant waiter on Lahaina's famous Front Street before the fire. Matt Jakowski, a Maui-based software developer, created a website that aims to match fire evacuees with homeowners. More than 600 families searched for housing in the area, but few found a place to stay because landlords were demanding more rent than evacuees could pay. He said, his analysis showed that the average rent requested by evacuees was about 2/3 the market rate. Some hosts want as much as $8,000 to $10,000 a month, which they can get from tourists. Jakowski's